Hi, hello, welcome back if you're new here. So, my name is Elmo, and today I've broken my book bun spectacularly. I thought I'd introduce you to some of the books because since my bookshelf tour I did literally weeks ago, I think, a couple months maybe now, I bought a bunch of books and it sucks because I strive to be Anna Wallace Johnson and just have like 30 books and just rotate the ones I don't read. However, it was my birthday recently and also I went to London recently and it would be a shame to go to London and not visit fancy witchy bookshops and not buy anything. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I won't count that, 6, 7, and then from before, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, we'll say, yeah, 13 books, just so you know I have them, because I might read them soon. We'll start with birthday books. This is The Book Thief. I've mentioned this, I think, before. I think I mentioned that I bought it, but I really wanted to read this. I saw the film when it came out in the cinema, and I was like, ooh. If you don't know, a lot of my special interests revolve around matters of great tragedy. World War II being one of them. Also book burnings. One of my favourite books is a critique on book burnings, and why not? Why not? From the perspective of death as well. Love that. Love when writers get funky with perspective. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's a lot of pages, and I will acknowledge it's over 500 pages, but I have a reading bingo card, and that's gonna be a fill for one of them, so hopefully all will be fine. Next up, we have The Glutton by A.K. Blakemore. Did I dream I found another book by them? Or was that like an actual thing I experienced? The Manning Tree Witches. I didn't dream it. I did see that book. But The Glutton. I've heard of a bunch of people who have read this and really enjoyed it, and from the blurb, it sounds very interesting. I have that now, which I will read, I promise. No, it was 14 books. Yellowface and Dead Poet Society, which is actually based on the film, not the other way round, which is wild. I'm reading both of those at the minute. I've almost finished Yellowface. There'll be a whole video on Yellowface when I finish it because there's just so many things I need to say about that book. And then Dead Poets, it's only a little teeny tiny boy. I'm only talking about it because they both have yellow covers, and so does this. This is The Bee Sting by Paul Murray, the Nero Gold Prize winner. Cafe Nero have their own book awards, and I go to one of their cafes at least once a week because it's a good spot to write. Also, one of my uni professors has read this and rated it well, and I was like, I trust you. So I was like, I'll read it too. Look, if Amy rated it well, it's worth my time. This is also a chunk of a book. I think it's just over 600 pages. Anything over 3 scares me. 400 at a push. Effort, but I'll do it. 600 and something. We'll see how it goes. Now this next one, I did want to buy my own version of it, but the American version just looks so much better. It's The Secret History by Donna Tartt. The UK version is way heftier than this. It's like way thicker. This one is floppy, which I think helps. The cover is nicer. The spine is nicer. So this is older than me. This book is 10 years older than me, and I'm going to enjoy every page. This is just a runoff from my Dead Poet Society, whatever, hyperfixation, obsession. I love Dead Poet Society. I'm loving the book. This is in the same realm. It's dark academia vibes. I think there's murder in it, maybe? Corruption and betrayal. That's going to be fun. Secret History, Donna Tartt. Good vibes. These next two I found in the London Review bookshop. Come Here to This Gate by Rory Waterman. This is his latest poetry collection. Oh my gosh, I've seen this on his Instagram. I'll buy it. Also, Tuesday Shannon, The Rough Guide to Ilkeston. It's like really nice quality cardstock. Yeah, very happy about this bad boy. Down the road from the London Review bookshop is a little place called Treadwell's. It's a kind of witchy, spiritual bookshop. They also do tarot readings, which is amazing. I want to do some ghost stories this year. I want to write some ghost stories. I have some that have been in the works for years that I've just abandoned. But I thought the best thing to do for that, I have a bunch of books as well that are just collected ghost stories that maybe I can read those in October. Maybe I should have a themed reading list for October. I need to write this down. In the mood for ghosts? I am. So I got this. It's a cultural history of The Ghost by Susan Owens. It's a very pretty book. It's chunky. It's slightly bigger than normal books. There's Old English in here. Not to flex or anything, but I can kind of read Old English. I'm not going to claim that I can. I'm going to claim that I kind of can. It looks like a really, really interesting book, and I'm very excited to learn about the cultural significance of ghosts and how it's been built up, so that should be fun. On to others. I just have a visceral need this year to read old stuff, so I bought Pride and Prejudice. Ironically, I find classics really hard to read because they're so slow, but this is one of my friend's favourite books, and I had a podcast idea where I read people's favourite books and then interview them about it, so this is what I'm going to read when I finally feel ready to start that. That's one. Jane Austen, my gal. I also have Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. Upon reflection, Orlando would have been more catered to my interests than this. Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I've never actually read anything by him other than The Importance of Being Earnest, which is hilarious. If you have the opportunity to read it or see it or whatever, please do. It's great gothic shit, right? It's my duty to read this book, so I'm gonna. I promise I will. This is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong, and believe it or not, it's a war story. My favourite TV show isn't Band of Brothers. What are you talking about? So yeah, I thought that would be fun because I own too many fiction books about war. And what's another? I don't have a problem. It's fine. The next one, My Year of Rest and Relaxation by, how do I pronounce your name? Zatessa Mosfei. It sounds like a really good book. I've seen a lot about this book around. A lot of people are reading it and it sounds really interesting. It sounds like something I would want to do, to be fair. This was me last year. My Year of Rest, maybe not relaxation. And then To Kill a Mockingbird. I did not read this in school. I've probably said this before. There are a lot of books that I own because people have read them in school and it's like a cultural knowledge that you've read it, and I haven't. To Kill a Mockingbird is one of them. I'd like to know why it's such a popular book and why it's such a studied book. I've read a little bit so far. Apparently it's going to make me cry, so I've been avoiding it since learning that. But honestly, you know, if a book is sad and you don't cry, that's like a problem. But I want to read it. I want to know what the hype's about. I want to know why we're hyping up Harper Lee. While I was in London, I visited the British Museum. It made me very sad to see all of the things that other countries would really like back, actually, and to see a lot of stuff in such a beaten state. I had a look at God, what are they called? The ones that just kind of line the walls, and I took many a moment just standing in front of the ones that have just been sheared off or weathered to the point where you can't see the person's face anymore, you can't see really any figure on it anymore, and it made me really sad. And I was like, someone took the time to carve this specific person and it's just been lost to time. Like, the memory of this person is gone. I had a moment in the British Museum. But also the thing I was really excited about for my London trip was that I would go and see the Michelangelo exhibit. Michelangelo was old as, for the era in which he lived, he was old as. And something I had like promised myself before I went was that I was going to buy the exhibition book because I was not going to take everything in at that exhibition, and I knew I wouldn't. So I was like, I need something to piece it together better and to properly learn. This is really heavy, by the way. I saw all of these original sketches in person and oh my god, it's just breathtaking. This is a really heavy book. So it's about the last 30 years Michelangelo's life. It's when he did a lot of like architecture stuff for the popes. And I will study this book from cover to cover. But for now, it's just going to sit on my shelf. I wanted a good coffee table book as well. That hit me right in the throat. Oh my god. I wanted a good coffee table book, and I feel like this will suffice my need for one perfectly. And that's pretty much it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, plus Yellowface, plus Dead Poets, about 15 books. Have I read 15 books this year? Not yet. Do I hate the fact that there's more in than out? Absolutely. Am I reinstating the book ban until this time next year? Yeah. Until I've read all of the ones I have bought, I'm not going to buy any more. As for the ones on my shelf, we're just going to lift that part of the agreement and be like, only the ones you've bought you must read and then you can buy more. But also I do want to get rid of like a whole row of them. I have a bunch of reading challenges that I've joined on Storygraph, and I might share those with you at some point. I've got a whole like bingo card that I made. That's 25 of these. If you too are struggling with buying books as opposed to reading them, solidarity from my heart. Solidarity. If you are refraining from buying books because you know you won't read them and you know you don't have space or the money or the time, congratulations. So that's where we're at. We've got a lot of books to read and I'm hoping to get through some of them soon. And if I don't, then that's gonna suck. But otherwise, I'm having a great time with more books. Thanks for watching. I'll see you when I see you. See ya. Here we go. Yeah, this is happening. This is 32 years old.